Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Soul-Lutions Creator Spotlight. I'm your host, Mr. Soul-Lutions, and this is the show where we shine a spotlight on aspiring creators looking to promote their projects that mean the most to them, in hopes that they might give you a moment to take a break away from the real life stresses that keep us down, because that is what art does. Today, on this inaugural episode of the Soul-Lutions Creator Spotlight, I have the pleasure to host a longtime friend of mine that is one of my favorite creators, independent creators. This person has been nurturing an IP that I fell in love with almost a decade ago. They're a musician and all-around amazing person. It is my pleasure to introduce Kim Matayahosi of Cloudcartoonz to you guys. Everybody say hey.
Hello.
Hello, Kim. Hey, thanks for joining us on the show today. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's really like you are the pleasure. So thank you for being here. Like, it's really amazing to both have you on the first show, to have you as the first guest, and to really kind of shine a spotlight on you for all the cool things you're doing. One of those cool things we're going to definitely talk about today. We're going to get deep into. We're even going to show you some cool stuff from it. So first, we're going to get into the Q&A part of this. You ready to get in the Q&A part?
Let's do this.
Let's do this. All right. So, Kim, tell us about yourself. Tell the people who you are, why you're special. Let us know about you.
My name is Kim Matayahosi. I'm born and raised in Kaneohe, Hawaii, Oahu, the island of Oahu. I moved to LA in 96. Spent 22 years of my life in LA. 2018, I moved to Washington. Right.
I think you're cutting out a little bit. Can you mic up a little bit for us to speak into it?
Check one.
There you go. No,
check,
you're
check.
yeah. Sometimes you just you whisper and then the mic don't pick you up.
Oh, my bad.
You good? You good? Live streaming. But yeah, so grew up in Hawaii. I know that because we went to high school together. We Castle graduates. So any of those Castle people watching the show today, represent. But
KASSO, which is why I got the time wrong.
Actually, we both got the time wrong because of Castle. So yeah, right. Woo! That Kaneohe education, but
it might just be us.
It might just be us. But no, you grew up in Hawaii. You moved to California, right?
I moved to California, Los Angeles in 1996. And I just lived there for 22 years. Been doing the work thing. I tried doing the school thing. It didn't. I got my associates. That's how far I got.
You got farther than me in the school thing, so congratulations. You got your associates. High five. Virtual high five. Yeah, right? So, no, good. And right now you are in...
I'm in Washington, but in LA, that's where I guess got into the scene of music, and that's where I developed my love for drawing.
Okay.
And yeah, it's how it all started. It's in LA. And
well, they do say it is the place. So, I can understand how you were probably influenced and inspired living in California. I have to imagine that the art scene out there is amazing. I've never lived out there, so I can't speak to it myself. But I have to imagine that there's nothing but creatives that you would have been surrounded by.
There was a lot, yeah. I remember the first art show I ever went to in LA. I didn't really know about the scene until one of our friends, Aaron Martin. I don't know if you remember him, but he's a year older than us. And
I don't know.
He's a well-known street artist now. He goes by the name of Woes,
Okay.
WOES. And he invited me and my sister to one of his art gallery shows in LA. And I thought it was so cool and fascinating. And after that, I just started following all the art gallery scene in LA, and it really inspired me. I was like, this is really cool. I want to be a part of this scene one day. I mean,
I understand those feelings. So no, congratulations on being inspired. One, a lot of us really just never find that in our lives, the thing that inspires us, and we get passionate about something or create something. But you have gotten passionate about something, and you do, or you are creating something, and that's what we're here to talk about today, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
We're here to talk about cloud cartoons. Um, okay, so I'm a fan of cloud cartoons. I've been a fan ever since she was like, "Hey, look at my little comic strip I made with markers and crayons." And I was like, "Hey, that is so cool. Like, I love seeing somebody do anything, right?" So, but as it went on, the years has gone on and she's released a little bit here and a little bit there. I've been like, "Oh, I really love this, IP. It's honestly it's got a real kind of local flavor to it. So if you're from Hawaii, you'll get a lot of the reference and the humor. It's really cute characters and unique and funny characters. And over time, Cloud Cartoon has grown with this little cast and this people, and it is moving into a whole new direction. You want to tell us about that?
Um, so in LA, we used to have like little apartment parties all the time, college life. And how I got into drawing just kind of happened. I used to just bust out my sketchbook every time we had little gatherings, and I would just draw what I saw in front of me. So that's kind of like how my my style started. I would just sit down and sketch little comics of friends and stuff like that, especially when the camera wasn't present, because I could capture moments that the camera didn't.
Right, because that's what people did before cameras. They drew moments, right? So that
Right?
totally makes sense. So you're right on track with what's supposed to be happening. So good job.
Yeah, so that sketchbook kind of became the coffee table book. Where people would come over and just flip through and see themselves in it sometimes.
And they'd be like, "I
So
didn't do
yeah.
that," and you're like, "Yes, yes, you did. You totally did that. You were the one, as a matter of fact." But you, like I said, you're moving it into a whole new phase. So it's becoming a new thing. It's going from a comic strip and a coffee book to what is it turning into now? Talk to us about that.
Through time, just doodling and sketchbooks, I created this character called Cloud, and it's like this little puffy, smoky looking guy. And um, I don't know, it just became like, I mean, he's so easy to draw. He's just a little squiggly, puffy man looking guy. So I would just keep drawing him and just throwing him into my little, comic scenarios. And, uh, ever since then, I just, I thought that it would be nice to like create a comic book out of him, based on him.
Well,
And
no, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't know. I thought you were done.
yeah, well, I took a comic book class in Santa Monica College. It was just a personal interest class. It didn't like you don't get credits or anything for that. But yeah, after taking that class, I like learned so much just like on basics on how to draw panels, and the class basically taught you how to prep your work so that it's submittable for publications, you know?
Hmm.
And um I don't know. I never got around to finishing any comic strips like officially, like for publics to publish. It's just because life got in the way, and you were working all these hours, and then I was doing music too. I was like in two bands at one point, and working and going to school full time. I was crazy back
You were rocking
then.
it. You were doing exactly what you're supposed to do when you were young. So you weren't being crazy. You were being young and in the springtime of youth, as they say. So
Yeah.
you know.
Well, anyways, um, with all that, like now that I'm here in Washington, now that the pandemic hit and everybody's schedules just kind of freed up, it
Yes, I
really
do
got me
know.
to focus. It really, really got me to focus on like working on a story and trying to create a story. And initially I wanted to just do comic books, like a comic book um, to put out, but the more and more I kept thinking about my like music, and I was like, how can I combine these two mediums together, you know? So why not put it on a video? Like I was thinking, my initial thought was like, oh, this could be like a glorified reading rainbow. You know what I mean?
Oh, you
Remember
know what?
reading
That's not a
Rainbow?
bad idea now that I think about what you're doing and what you're saying. And we might need to revisit that at a later time because IPs are made to be multi-projected, but that's a whole nother thing. But yes, why don't you tell us what it is though now that is not Reading Rainbow?
So, in the beginning of this year, you and I reconnected after all these years. Like, I think I posted something and you saw it on Facebook or something and you commented and
I
just started
did.
asking me all these questions about what I'm doing. And, ever since then, like, you taught me so much because you're like immersed in this comic books, like, world.
This is not my video. This is your video. So don't. But yes, yes, I am immersed in the comic book world, and we did reconnect, and we have been supporting each other through our creative endeavors.
Yeah. But every time I speak to you, I learn something. And what I'm trying to accomplish here with the comic book slash video. I mean, there's a term for it. I did not know this term. It's called motion comics. I didn't even know that
That's right.
existed. And like people are like, what is motion comics? It's, I guess, in my opinion, it's like animation, but significantly less frames per second, right?
That is the best way to describe a motion comic. It
Yeah.
is it is animation with significantly less frames, a lot less work, but it is a beautiful and pure art. And when it's done right, it looks great. And we're gonna show you a clip a little bit later where it looks great because it's done right. So yeah, we Cloud Cartoons is becoming a motion comic. That's the big thing I want you guys to take away right now. That's super exciting. We're going to show you what a motion comic looks like because it's not exactly animation and it's not exactly a comic. So we're going to get a little taste of that. But before we get into the clip, we're going to have some artist style questions for Kim today. Some things she might be able to feel super easy. Some things that, she still might not have the best answers for yet because art is always a work in progress. But we're going to ask her some questions anyway. She's going to give us her creator's perspective on what is happening in her world, and then we're going to get to a clip, ask a few more questions, and we're gonna get some final words from her, and then close out the show. But let's get into the question and answer part. So I already had you tell us a little bit about yourself, and thank you so much for that. We definitely appreciate you giving us a little bit of insight on you. But we want to talk about your art process a little bit, kind of what you do. And so I personally know that digital medium is a new medium for you, right? I know that because you kind of really started that when we reconnected. So what is the most comfortable medium that you feel working in when you do have to work?
It first started off with me just sketching on paper and, drawing with pens and pencils. But, with technology today and what I'm trying to accomplish, like I had to I had to throw myself in the digital game. So the first thing I did was I got an iPad and I got an Apple Pencil, downloaded the Procreate app. And that app is lovely. Like
Lovely.
it changed. Like I don't really draw on paper anymore. Just to do like little thumbnail sketches, maybe.
Why would you?
But I'm starting to just go for tablet now, even
Like,
with that.
man, like, whew.
Yeah, and you're able to use, like, I use a lot of references in drawing. I'm really bad at freehanding things, especially when it comes to proportions and stuff like that. So like with Procreate, it's fabulous. You can just import your reference, you know, in a layer and then kind of trace over your, into the form of your character or whatever. And it's so much easier. Oh my God.
So
And then you can
it's
just double tap to erase when you mess up.
I know, right? It's just everything. Okay, everything about digital drawing is top notch. it sounds like, okay, so I was concerned about your transition when I first, started talking to you or whatever. And like, I kind of I kind of inspired you to go get like another device to draw with to connect to your computer. And how is your transition going from pencil and paper and crayons and markers to digital? Does it feel natural, or is it, you still like,
It's awesome. I just wish I could learn faster how to use everything. You introduced me to this, what do you call it?
the XP pen?
XP pen display. Yes.
Yes.
And you can plug it into your computer and it shares your screen and you can draw on the screen. Like,
Yes.
that's such a brilliant product.
Isn't
I
it? It's
believe.
okay. The pen people, to break from the interview real quick and to let you know, if you're a creative, if you're an artist and you are serious about really making a digital product that you want to bring to the forefront, you cannot beat a pen tablet display from any of their manufacturers. Really, it doesn't matter which one you buy. You want to make the investment so that you can make more powerful art. Back to the interview.
Yeah. It's definitely easier to draw digitally now because of the fact that you can actually draw on the screen. Before, remember how much aim you had to have coordination and aim with the mouse?
Oh
Yeah,
man,
I didn't even go there with digital back then when that was how it
do
had
you
to be
remember?
done.
Do you remember the old tablets where you had to like put the tablet down and you had to draw on the tablet surface and then look at the screen?
And look at the screen.
Right,
Yeah,
like
I couldn't do it.
that was so hard. It was so hard. I still got one of those. I still have one of those really expensive ones like under my bed right now. It's more expensive than my drawing tablet that is way better and way bigger. And I never want to touch that thing again. So I totally understand. Like, I'm feeling you on that. No, these pen tablet displays, if you're a creator, you definitely want one. I'm glad that your transition is going well.
Yeah.
You had me feeling concerned about your transition because you was all like, I don't know. And I was all like, but it's easy. And you was like, it don't look easy though. But I feel
It's
like,
just because I'm old.
I feel we're old. We are old, right? We're not as old as some people, but we are not spring chickens either. So, our learning curves be different than them 20-year-old brains we had back then. And that's what I'm going to say about that. But no, honestly, I'm glad your transition is going well. Your art is looking super powerful right now. Like it's looking really powerful. Like,
And you know what's crazy? Like the more and more as I create different like clips, like I so far I've done 2 teaser clips and my style keeps changing because I keep learning new things. So just be prepared for that, everybody. When you see this motion comic series in its entirety, when it's finished, it's gonna be evolving from season one, like from episode one to however long it goes. The art is going to be changing. I'm just going to say that now.
I expect it to do so. It's called the 10 issue or the 10 episode rule. Okay. So when you're a creator, and this goes for everybody who's a creator, if you're creating a long format anything, when you're a creator, you have 10 issues in which you're going to solidify what you're doing, or 10 episodes. So your audience should see your growth over your first 10 anythings, right? They should expect to see it grow, and you should expect to see it grow. So don't worry about the 10 issue thing. You got that, right? The question that's supposed to be in place here is exactly what we're talking about today, though. What are we here about? And that is Cloudcartoonz. And we've been talking about the art, and we've been talking about the process and how we get there. And you know what? I think it's time to roll into the clip. We have a clip today on the show because we're good like that. We have a premiere exclusive clip on the show today. It is called Talent Scouting, right? Yeah, it's called Talent Scouting. And why don't you tell us a little bit about the clip before we roll into the clip so they got some reference about what's happening?
Okay, so my series is called Lolo Land, and it revolves around Cloud, who's my smoky cloud like character. And what happens is he discovers um, these honeybees. He goes into a honeybee hive and he discovers that they have like this line of genetics that give them musical abilities. So he discovers, like, he goes in there and he sees, um, DJ drone honeybee and like dancing and singing bees or whatever. So he starts to observe and learn songs from them, and with the help of his best friend, the character's name is Choke Chain. They start to produce, like, try to recreate the songs that Cloud hears in the hive, because nobody else can see this but him, so, and he wants to share it with people. And then he goes to the local live music venue and tries to scope out bands or artists that could cover these songs that he learns from the honeybees. I know this sounds so random, but like I can't wait to put this all together, because the way the each episode is going to be structured is so that I can showcase good music, in the perspective of the honeybee talent, into this perspective of, their real world
Right.
outside of the hive.
So let me
Yeah.
make sure I understand what's going on and maybe do a little translation for the audience. But Cloud can communicate with the bees, right? He can get in the hives. He can see what the bees is doing. He gets in the hives. He's like, oh, the bees is dope. They out here making music and jamming. They're like jam bees. He's like, yo, I need to get this music out to the people so they know that the bees is making jam music. Is that about right?
Pretty much.
That about
Pretty
rapper
much.
Cloud Cartoons? Okay, or Lolo Land. Adventures in Lolo. I think it should be called Adventures in Lolo Land. But is that wrap up Lolo Land? Right? Okay. So we got a clip from Lolo Land. We have a clip today. It's exclusive today, but this is the week of Cloud Cartoonz. That's what I've named it, right? And she's got another interview dropping tomorrow, right? And we want you guys to check that out. And I hear a rumor, I'm not sure, I heard a rumor that there's going to be even another exclusive clip. So if you're really interested in what's going on, you need to make sure you watch Dark Horse Matters tomorrow on YouTube when it drops for Kim, her host, and her clip. But I'm not going to ruin the host who's on Dark Horse Matters. Just go watch Dark Horse Matters, and then you can fall off your chair when you see the interview. But I'm not going to ruin it for you because I'm not like that. But I am a fan of both Dark Horse Matters and Cloud Cartoonz. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. So we're going to roll into the clip. We're going to play the clip for you guys. I do believe you should hear the sound. If for some reason the sound does not play, my apologies, but I'm sure you're going to hear it. So we're going to roll into this. You're going to hear some dope music. You're going to see some great motion comic animation. And then we're going to come right back to the interview.
Ooh, they're starting.
I don't want to lose the table.
Yeah, shoot them.
Here comes the warriors of light. Humans have been losing all their sight. And this time, this day, and this hour, we rooting down, standing strong
What a
in our
donkey.
power. And we see so much work to be done. Each day we are rising with the sun.
All right. So that was a clip from Lolo Land. It looks like we were in the club. It looks like there was some talent scouting going on with Cloud. I do believe I recognize that as Choke Chain sitting at the table with him that didn't want to lose his spot. And we had a band playing some fire music, didn't we?
Yes, 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 yes.
So who was playing the fire music? Tell us about the band.
That song was sung by an artist named Ashley Ire. Goes by the name of Ashley Ire. And the music production is done by Stony Eye Studios and Sultry Dubs. And they're a couple, Stony Eye Studios and Sultry Dubs. They're this power music couple that produce dope music. And their album, Sultry Dubs album, that's out on all the music platforms right now, is going to be a huge part of this series. Like as far as the music that's going to be presented, like what you just saw, and like with musical scoring and everything like that.
Outstanding.
And, yeah. And the guy that's playing the voice of Choke Chain, his name is Daniel Lay, and he is a very talented actor. He used to live in LA. That's how I met him. And then we used to go to all of his live play. He was in a lot of plays and stuff like that. He's very talented. And then he moved to New York and did a lot of work there too. But he's a daddy now. Thank God he has time for me because I casted him.
Well, I'm glad that he has time for you as well.
I mean, he doesn't have time, but he's making time.
Who really has time? But, you know, as a community, we have to make time for one another, right? That's part of being a community and helping each other grow and build. So I'm glad that he is making time for you and finding that time to do that. Honestly, funny thing, you mentioned who was voicing him today. I was watching the clip right before the show or whatever, before we got together. And I was like, who is doing his voice? I know that's not her. Like, I'm like, she might be doing Cloud, but I know she's not doing Choke Chain. Like,
and you know what's so cool about today? Like, you can do production like this at home. Like, he just shot me some voice notes, and it's totally like I totally just used that.
Yeah, drop the clip, drop the file into the video, and boom, you were done. Just yeah, I know it's beautiful.
It's good
like,
enough. I mean, it works out.
No, it's great. It's great.
It makes it possible for me. So, thank God.
Yes.
There's technology out that's making this easier for me. You know
Amen.
I mean?
Amen. No, I feel the same way. I'm able to do the things that we're doing right now because of technology, right? You know, technology makes this possible for us to both hang out, for us to get together like this in a medium where we can discuss what you're doing and celebrate you a bit. Technology, it's FTW, it's for the win, right? Like, you really can't beat it. So we're going to jump back into some more questions. We got a few more, not too many. We're coming on, let's see, we're in a 30-minute marker, so we're doing great. We're doing great. Like, the show's flowing well. I love it. I love it. So I think you talked about this a little earlier. So the question really is, what's your inspiration for the show? And I know you were saying you were, you know, living in LA, living a college life, you know, you were watching the scene at the parties that you were at, and, you know, it was a way for you to capture what was going on there. But me and you have been talking, so I know there's a little bit more inspiration behind this current project than just what inspired you to do Cloud.
Yeah, so my friend, his name is Brandon Sakuma. He lives in Oregon, and he's married to one of our classmates, Ari Kobayakawa. He started beekeeping recently, years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like urban beekeeping is like a thing now.
It is. My friend does that as well. It's really trendy. Yes.
And I mean, he called me out of the blue. Like, I haven't spoken to him in so long, and he just called me out of the blue and was like, "Are you still doing art?" And I was like, "Yeah, I dab a little, you know." And he's like, "Why don't you do like a children's book that teaches kids about honeybees?" And it just kind of got the wheels turning. We started talking more about it. He started teaching me sending me all this stuff about bees, and I was just so fascinated by this species on this planet that's very alien-like and freakishly intelligent, you know?
Yes. No, I'm a huge fan of the bees as well. If you don't know about the bees, you should probably get a little bit of education. They kind of keep the world flowing. But you can watch out for some education about the bees in Lololand. So don't learn too much, because we want you to learn some of it in Lololand, right? We want you to enjoy it. So
one of my goals, like to be able to pass on, information about honeybees in a creative way and that's entertaining. You know what I mean? That this doesn't seem so documentary status. Like you can have fun watching it and actually learn something. Like I'll be passing on information that's actually facts,
I
in
think
a
that is smart.
story-like form in Cloud's perspective,
I do. I think that is smart. I think it is marketable, and it's definitely a story that needs to be told. There's been a lot about the bees and their effect on our ecosystem and environment lately. And if you haven't been paying attention, they are under threat. It is a situation where if we don't have them, the ecosystem for almost all living creatures on the planet, including humans, will fall apart. So we do need to start, getting together as humans and a community and doing something about destroying their habitats and their ecosystems. But again, don't learn too much, because we want you to learn some stuff in Lolo Land, right? So we kind of brushed over a lot of this next question as well about who you're working with. And whoever you're working with, get me those links so I can get them and put them in the video description in the YouTube so that people can go and, see and listen to the artists that you're working with. But you're working with some voice talent. You're working with some musicians. Sultry Dove, and what was it? What was the other? What's the studio's name?
Sultry Doves and Stony Eye Studios.
And Stony Eye Studios. All right, yeah. And then Daniel is your voice, is that right?
Daniel Liz Choke Chain's voice.
Yeah. Right. Okay, that is my question. Are you Cloud?
I am Cloud.
I thought so, right? I'm all like, all right, so I think she's Cloud. I don't think she's Choke Chain, but if she's Choke Chain, she's doing real good.
I can make my voice real deep.
Real deep, cuz. So anybody else that's working on your project that we haven't mentioned?
Let me think. I'm just gonna have a lot of artists, like musicians. So just on that clip alone, I've mentioned the ones that I've been working with. But as far as the art, I'm so far just doing everything on my own, except for one thing. I did find a graffiti lettering artist on Twitch. I met him on Twitch. Just
nice.
I clicked on his channel just because it looked cool. He was drawing on paper. And I don't know, we've been keeping in touch, and ever since, it's been since the beginning of this year, and he is offered to help me with the graffiti lettering for the series, and it's going to be shown in the series from time to time.
That is awesome.
Collaborating with somebody.
Yes, no, collaboration is the heart of what we do as creators. So I'm glad that you found someone that you can collaborate with. I preach collaborate.
Sorry.
All right. Yeah, no. Was it? Go ahead, shout him out one more time.
His name is Pochfad. Pochfad.
Let's get his Twitch to put it in the link as well. So we'll get all your creators that you're working with. We'll shout them out, get them some traffic. Yeah, absolutely. So no, it's great that you're collaborating with others. It's great that you do have at least some team to get some of this done. You don't have to rely on all of it on your own. But yes, I know that art chore by yourself is a large task. So.
Yeah, and the music part is so hard. I can sing, I can do a little garage band recording, but when it comes to producing, I need to turn to somebody a little bit more experienced, and thank God, living in LA for 22 years, I've met a lot of talented people who are so amazing, and I'm just hoping that they can be a part of this too,
I hope so too, because I'm excited about hearing the music, because that's a big part. If you haven't really caught on, like the motion comic and the art is great, the Lesson About the Bees is amazing, but a huge part of Lola Land is featuring the artist, is the music and the sound. And I love all the music that I've heard from it. Now, mind you, I'm kind of on the ground with my homegirl here with this, right? Like, but so far the things that I've heard and seen, I'm all like, woo woo, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm feeling it. Like, I'm really feeling it. Like, there's this one track I'm really feeling right now. Really feeling it. I'm just saying, I need that whole track. Okay, I'm just saying.
It's not
Like,
even finished yet.
I still need it.
Oh.
Okay.
One other thing that's exciting about this series is the focus on reggae. You know, I have seen other animes that really feature music hard, like Nana. I don't know if anybody knows about that anime, Nana. I really got inspired from watching that anime. The music so awesome, and Carolyn Tuesday is another one.
Okay, so I
But
haven't seen Nana. I did see Carol. I love Carol on Tuesday. Everybody go watch Nana so we can have a conversation with Kim about Nana.
if you go to Cloud Cartoons YouTube page, I have a playlist of all the episodes in the English version. It's not the best quality, but it's there. It's up there.
You heard that. Go get her some site traffic. Go to her webpage. Go to cloudcartoons.com. Go watch Nana there. I'm going to stop hitting my microphone, I promise. Go watch Nana there. Get her some site traffic. And actually, while you're at her site, what do we want them to do while they're at the site?
Subscribe.
Well, no, we want you to go to YouTube and subscribe. We want you to go to the site and buy some merch. So she's got some merch up on the site. We want you to go visit cloudcartoons.com. That's Cloud Cartoons with the Z. And get you one of those shirts right there, right? You can get you one of them long sleeve joints. You can get one of them short sleeve joints, right? Go and get you some Cloud Cartoons merch. It helps support what she's doing.
Yeah, any
Yes.
support will be really appreciated.
Absolutely. Let's, as a community, fund what this creator is doing. It's not... I tell you what, a lot of this digital art stuff is a one-time investment, but a lot of production is not. And it costs money to produce. It costs time to produce, and time costs money. So if you thought the clip you seen today was cool and you're enjoying the conversation with Kim and you think she's cool, then I want you to go do the cool thing and go pick up some cool merch. All right. So, that's one of the big things we want you to do when you visit cloudcartoons.com. We do want you to go visit cloudcartoons.com, and you see it right there on the screen. We want you to visit it and go find out about the project. Go see what is going on over there, and do find her on all social media because she is Cloud Cartoons everywhere. So Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, everywhere, Facebook. Go find Cloud Cartoons. It's easy to find. You can find it. I want you to support her. I want you to go like her page. If you're watching this now live, if you're watching it later recorded, go do the thing. We're going to leave the links for all her social media in the description for the YouTube so you can find it there. But off our little advertising stint, I do have a question for you that we really haven't covered yet. And it is for the creatives in the audience, the people that might be watching who are looking to create their own anything, whatever they're really trying to create. But specifically for people who are looking to create illustrations or motion comics or possibly even record some music or work with some people that way, what kind of tools do you think people should start with so they can start producing their own work?
Tools.
Yeah, tools.
What I've found to be very useful and helpful is I just jumped on it and just, what do you call that? I just did it. You know how when you have to subscribe to something and pay a lot of money, you're just like, how can I get this for free? But I just did it because I found a promo, and it's called Adobe Creative Cloud. I don't know if everybody's familiar with that, but I just subscribe to it, and they give you so much access to all these programs that have been helpful for me, like Adobe Animate. I've been using that a lot. There's a media encoder program too that helps me convert files from like GIF to MP4 or vice versa, or MP. I don't know. Like it's just makes life a lot easier when you have files that you want to import into programs that and it's not compatible or whatever.
No, that is one of the upsides to the Adobe suite. Okay, so like she said, they're free alternatives to all the Adobe softwares. However, one of the upsides to using the Adobe suite is that they are all made to work together. Importing and moving files over from one program to the other program so that you might edit it or do what you got to do is seamless. And the tools that Adobe has and they put at your disposal are phenomenal. They're all powerful. They're all great.
Also, like I went this route because there's when you're searching for how to learn how to use these programs, because you can buy it, but if you don't know how to use it, it's going to be useless to you. But if you go on YouTube and search for tutorials, there's so many teachers out there to teach me how to use Adobe Creative Cloud programs. So I just went that route because of that convenience for me. And,
No, I understand.
Tutorials, man.
Man, look, YouTube University. I'm a graduate.
Me too.
I graduate every day from YouTube University.
Exactly.
Don't play. Don't play. I get a new diploma every day. Every day I learn a new skill at YouTube University. Y'all are sleeping on that. But no, I totally understand the convenience of finding tutorials as well. I'm on the other side of that equation with my creative tools. I do use like pretty much all the free creative tools except for one.
I know, you're awesome.
But also YouTube University, that stuff as well, right? So there is a plethora of videos for the free tools as well. It's just that when you type in like photo editing, the first thing that comes up is Adobe tutorials, right? But if you type in like, Clip Art Studio editing, then, Clip Art Studio stuff comes, you know what I'm saying? Like people, but yes, you can use whatever you like, but honestly, she's right. The most important things that you do need as a digital content creator are softwares in which to create digital content in. And you do need to find what is comfortable for you. It's not about saying that this specific brand is better or this is better because it's free. You do need to look into what the tools can do, how they can support you, their ease of use, and then, find out exactly where you want to be.
Learn how to use it properly.
Yeah. Because I tell you what, I've been trying to learn music production, and that's hard, and I can't learn that properly even with YouTube University. So,
right.
you got to know your limitations as well, right? I don't have limitations.
Also, what I want to say to other creators out there is just don't give up. Don't give up. Don't quit. Like, it's because, everybody goes through this, like that self-doubt, just whispering in your ear. Like, I hear that voice in my ear every time something gets hard,
Yeah, no. Yeah, but look, she's right. Never quit. Never give up. It's always hard. It's never easy.
Hang out with people like Steven Boyce, that will whisper, "You're doing good. You're killing it. Don't give up." Like
every day, I tell her, "You're doing great. Don't give up." And she is. She's honestly, I'll be real. What you guys don't know is the short amount of time that she's actually been trying to learn to animate and use these digital tools. It's really been like, I don't know what, maybe 6 months.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah. Since February. February when we reconnected.
February. Yeah.
Yeah. So
since February.
Yeah. So, she's actually taken off like a rocket, right? And she should never let that voice in the back of her mind tell her that she's not doing good enough, because She is doing so much better than so many people that I know doing the same things that she's doing. So she's doing amazing. Her drive is incredible. We want you at Soul-Lutions to support that drive. So we want you to go to her site, go to her stores, go to her YouTube, wait for the clips, subscribe to the stuff, like the Facebook pages, follow the Twitch, follow the Twitter, you know, do the social media stuff. It doesn't cost you anything to go like and subscribe and show your support. It does cost you a little bit of money to pick up the merch, but if you have it, artists need support. We need patronage. Artists have survived off of that since the dawn of time, and we still survive off of patronage today. And we need yours, and she needs yours right now. So I'm going to tell you one more time to go get some merch. But we're coming down to like our final 2 questions, and then we're going to let you say your final piece, and then we're going to get out of here. But what words and inspirations do you have besides for Never Give Up? Because that is a great one. Do you have for creators out there? Just in a general way.
Put me on the spot. I don't know.
This is the spot, girl. It's the spotlight. You've been under the spot.
Just, don't be afraid to follow your dreams, man. You just don't be scared.
Yeah.
That's a big one too. Do not be scared.
Do not be scared. I'll tell you what, I was living in some fear about getting on these streams, doing these live, shows, whatever, but it's honestly turning out for the best. Don't be scared to put your craft out there. The worst you're going to get is some critique, possibly some criticism. But if it's coming your way, that means there's just ways for you to improve. You take those steps to improve. You take that criticism and you work with it. You don't let it shut you down. You don't let it put you in the hole and put your head underground and like, I just can't do it. You come back harder. You come back stronger. And you just do it better. I think I got a new sub. So thanks for the new sub. That was a new sub. Appreciate you. So final question. And really, I think I answered this like 15 times, but we're going to tell the people together where they can support you at. So the website, give them the website.
Cloudcartoonz with a Z.com.
With a Z.com. Cloudcartoonz with a Z.com. You can find her as Cloudcartoonz, like I said, everywhere. If there's social media, you can type in Cloudcartoonz into the search and you're going to find her. I want you to go. If it's a like, I want you to like. If it's a follow, I want you to follow. If it's a subscribe, I want you to subscribe. I want you to go ahead, do the cool things. Let her know that there's some interest in her work, what's going on out there, and everything that's happening. I want to remind you all, tomorrow, like I said, it's the week of Cloudcartoonz, right? We're celebrating Kim all week. She's going to be on Dark Horse Matters tomorrow. Her interview will be out tomorrow. I want you to go to YouTube right now, and I want you to get caught up on Dark Horse Matters. And then you can be on the inside joke that I'm on with the show and the interview for tomorrow. And I want you to go there, and I want you to check out the show. She's gonna drop a new clip tomorrow online on the show. So if you enjoyed today's clip and you're ready to see some more stuff, you want to hit up the exclusive interview tomorrow with the exclusive clip tomorrow. It's a whole nother type of vibe. It's not going to be so interviewy based around, the business so much. I am positive what we're going to see is something much more intimate tomorrow, if I know anything about what is happening. So if you're ready to see Kim and talk about Cloudcartoonz in a more intimate environment, in a very special environment, then make sure, hey, kitty. Make sure you check out Kim tomorrow on Dark Horse Matters on YouTube. That is exactly how it sounds like it's spelled. We'll leave the link in the description for Dark Horse Matters as well. But check out Dark Horse Matters today. Get caught up on that show and get ready for the interview that drops tomorrow morning. I know because I wake up every Monday morning very excited for Dark Horse Matters. And then when it doesn't come on in the morning, I I'd be texting the person that hosted, like, where is my episode of Dark Horse Matters? Because this is what I do on Monday mornings, right? Like, that's how I start my week. So I want you to starting your week with Dark Horse Matters. I want you to starting watching Dark Horse Matters with watching Kim on Dark Horse Matters. And yeah, you got anything that you want to tell the people before we get out of here?
That I love everybody and thank you guys for watching and just, stick with me. You're going to be entertained, trust me.
Stick with her. You are definitely going to be entertained. I'm excited for everything that is coming. We were excited for having you on the show today. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being my first guest on my first interview show. Everybody knows I do a whole bunch of talk shows and like opinionated shows. So it was good to actually get on here today with you and talk to you about something that's not about what I'm doing. Right.
Thank you.
And it's my pleasure.
No, like seriously, thank you. Because I would not be at the, I wouldn't have accomplished the progress that I've made so far this year without you. So I really show my gratitude towards you.
My sister, I loved you like a sister for many, many years. And there's nothing I would not do for you. So I'm just glad that I could be here when you were ready to get your project going and that I could be that support that you needed. And I'm so proud of you. Look, I can't tell you and the audience how proud I am of all the progress you've made in such a short amount of time. Like,
thank you.
No one understands, but I understand. Isaac probably understands, but I understand, right? Like, you have done an amazing job with everything you're doing. You keep your hustle up, keep making art, don't ever be discouraged. And really, it's been a pleasure having you on the show today.
Thank you. Thank you, brother.
Thanks so much, sister. Well, guys, we are at the end of the show. I want to say thank you so much for joining the Soul-Lutions Creator Spotlight. Please support the creator that was featured here. So support Kim. Like I said, we're going to put the links in the description for the YouTube. So if you're watching this later, I want you to go click those. If you're watching this live, I want you to go watch the YouTube later live or watch YouTube recording later. Go leave a comment, leave a like, click the links, support all the artists we talked about today, but especially support Cloudcartoonz. Excuse me. If you're a fan of the show, I want you to hit the subscribe button on YouTube. You can find me as Mr. Soul-Lutions all over the place. I'm on all social media. I want you to like Soul Monkey Publications on Facebook. If you didn't like the show, hit the thumbs down button, but let me know why you didn't like the show. Give me some feedback. Talk to me about it. We want to know. But thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. Thanks for watching the Soul-Lutions Creator Spotlight. You guys stay creative.